All right. Oh shit, my light. Got my light. All right. Yo, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. And in this episode, I'll be talking about getting over a breakup or how to get over a breakup and what are some steps. Some steps. There's gonna be more. But what are some steps on what to do during the breakup, how to get over a breakup, and doing it correctly where it doesn't come across as I'm just running away from fear. Okay. So today, for my YouTube lives, I do this every Tuesdays and Saturdays. So every Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And start with the recap. So I'm gonna talk about a recap episode that I do have, and then let's get in directly into how to get over a breakup. All right. But the recap episode is dating labels are not important. And when I say this, I'm talking about the guy in the relationship. I'm talking about the masculine person, okay? So, genders do not have, like, energies like that, masculine and feminine energy does not have a gender, okay? It doesn't have a gender. It's just what do you possess more of, all right? Tracy, what's up? Is it Freak? What's up? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, dating labels are not important. The reason why dating labels are not important for the masculine person is because that masculine energy is about, overcoming challenges, right? Breaking through barriers, right? Mission and purpose driven, right? Having that drive and just going for the things that you want. Oh, what's up, kid? And so that's why dating labels are not important for the masculine side. When it comes to feminine energy is about opening up to receive love, right? She, or to keep it simple, her, right? She needs to feel her man, right? If she doesn't feel her man both mentally and physically, she's not gonna feel fulfilled, right? She will feel like, oh, he doesn't care. It's not that he doesn't care. And that's why you get such a big discrepancy, is because the guy's like, what do you mean? I did take you out. I tried. And it's because maybe somewhere along the way, even though you did take her out on that Wednesday night and you took her and you guys had a really great time. Well, guess what? Somewhere, maybe you dated and courted her. You just have not opened her up mentally, maybe physically, but mentally you haven't opened her up. And so when that does happen, you have to sit down. You be like, so what's bothering you? What's been on your mind, right? Open her up so that way she could feel safe and comfortable to open up around you. And when your lady is mentally open up to you, well, guess what? Legs open, all right? And the reason why I say that too is because here's a big thing, okay? If she's not wet in the bed, all right? And I had an episode on when your lady is not wet, or when your woman is not wet, unless she has a medical condition that is stopping her from, taking out that wet floor sign. If she's not wet, something in her mind is bothering her, and she's not going to enjoy sex with you, right? But for the guy, he doesn't really know the difference. He's like, yo, right? So that's why you have to. So for us guys, we have to speak your language too. We have to understand you, right? And you know what? I haven't figured it all out yet, but I'm getting a step closer every day. So, anyways, that's masculine energy. And so for the recap, this was on the slide of women prefer to chase men. Okay, here's why. Okay. Women are like the weather. The sun will always shine, but from time to time, clouds will get in the way. And at this moment, this could be your test of your strength or to reveal your weakness. And what I mean by that is when she tests you, you just have to understand that ladies, changing emotion, it has nothing to do with you. Don't take it personal. It's just on them. And it's just how you respond to her that's going to make the difference. If you react to her and you're like, no, what you mean? You already lost. Okay, you just revealed your strength, your weakness. She don't like that, and you do that consistently too many times. She's gonna see you as this weak guy. That's it. And if you've been with her for such a long time, then most likely she will, she'll be like, you know what, let's cut him some slack. It's okay, right? But attraction is not a choice. If she feels another guy's strength and you stop doing everything that you did in the beginning of the relationship, and another person is displaying the behaviors of a masculine guy, and that's what she's attracted to because she's a feminine woman, well, guess what? She's gonna be attracted to that guy. Not necessarily will she cheat on you, that's dependent on her character, but it has nothing. But attraction is not a choice. You can't choose what you're attracted to. If you're attracted to it, that's what it is, right? So that's the point I'm trying to get across, right? So here I am, Mitchell Tang, trying to let you guys know this is how a man should operate, all right? And if you don't like it, go find it somewhere else, but I'm spitting truths, all right? So men does the pursuing in the beginning, okay? So dating labels are not important, but men in the beginning, they do the pursuing. This is not a relationship. You just met this person, right? So they do the pursuing in the beginning, and after that, it is always better that he takes a step back and he only does 20 to 30% of the pursuing. Anything more than that, you're going to lose her attraction. Okay? No more, okay? Women in their entire life, and here's why. Women in their entire lives has been smothered by men. Smothered. And that's why you get a lot of ladies that like, oh, he's too clingy or he's too needy, and he's like, it feels like it's because he's thinking about, I need her around me too much to feel self-validated. If she feels that from a guy, it means that to her, she's breaking it down in her mind, and she doesn't even know how to break it down, but I'm gonna break it down for you. She's taking a step back. I don't know what it is. He's a really good person, but for some reason, this is my girl voice, right? For some reason, I don't know. Like, I just don't feel it, right? Feel. So what does it mean? Women are emotional creatures. Not that men aren't, okay? But women are more emotional, feeling-based creatures, okay? Men are creatures too. So, all right. So and whenever the relationship is 50-50, oh, guarantee platonic friendship, roommates, sex is off the table. You might get some pity sex if she's feeling it, but she's not doing it because she really wants it, or maybe she just needs fulfilled, but she doesn't want you. She's just like, it's better than using this thing, right? It's better using this big ass purple thing. So whenever a relationship is 50-50, that's when the sexual polarity becomes less favorable for the guy. It destroys the sexual polarity, and then it is always better if it is her choice to come to you, right? And if you do everything right as a guy, she will want sex from you way more than you want it from her, okay? 4 out of 10. No, I'm not gonna commit to that. I'm happy at a 4. I see that fucking test you're doing. I see it. I love to be a 4. I love to be a 4. All right, you keep laughing. All right, keep laughing. Okay, because if it is her choice, you won't get rejected. The door's open, and all you have to do is just walk through it. What's up, right? What's up? All you gotta do is walk through the door. If it's her choice, oh, you should come over sometimes. Absolutely. When are you free? Well, I'm free this week. So you see how easy and effortless that is, as opposed to the guy asking her, oh, so when are you free this week? Oh, you're not free this week? Oh, how about next week? And she's like not giving you any counter offers. It's like, she's really not that interested. I don't deal with people that's not interested anymore. There's too many people in this world to deal with one person. Yeah, you might look great. Yeah, you might have had too many pieces of pizza, and it all only goes to your cheeks, and that's great. But no, you know what? I want someone that's easy and effortless, that has a high level of enthusiasm when I want to see them. Why? Because who doesn't want to eat? Those are the best relationships, in my opinion. All right. The one that comes easy and effortless. It's like, oh my God, I just love being around them. The energy reciprocates, right? Yeah. So walk through the doors, right? That's why, Bruno Mars leaving the door open, right? She leaves the door open for you. Just walk through it. Woman that likes you will make it easier for you. Woman that has low attraction will make it difficult. So you will know if she likes you, because if you don't, you'll be confused. And when she asks or reaches out, the man's job is to create, basically his job is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. Okay. Now, this could be deciphered in two ways, because if he's creating it, yes, you want to have fun, you want to get to know that person, but if your main goal is just to, I want to have sex with her, this is all I have to do so that I could get her hooked on me, then you're starting from the wrong place. Like, as a guy, you should want more than just sex. Like, is she a good companion? Is this a good person that I want to be connected with? Because otherwise, I'm kind of like wasting my time, right? But if you have no experience, then doing something like that, I guess is good. But then some people get stuck there. You know what I mean? But it's about pursuing more and having a better, deeper connection, because there's nothing like having, you know, late night Olympics with the person and like just making love with that person that you really, really connect with. It's like it feels way better than just glorified masturbation, if you will, right? Just sex or and nothing else. I mean, hey, you know what? I don't blame him, because before that I didn't know any better, and that's what I was focused on too. So, you know, I can't blame him for that. I think that he's just, you know, lacking the education part and understanding about what you want, right? Because if you're not intentional with the aim that you want in life, then anything that you take will kind of get you there, because you're not focused. So that's why you need to focus, right? So moving on, processing the breakup, right? So getting over a breakup, and the first slide is processing the breakup. First, go Mitchell, you back in LA? No. I never lived in LA, so we should talk after this. We could get some lunch, if you know what I mean. But processing the breakup. So if you're dealing with a breakup and you're not feeling good inside, I've been there too. Trust me. And it sucks, and it's a human emotion. But I got to ask myself good quality questions that help me not get out of situations, but staying firm on knowing what I want. And so if you stay here long enough to hear me out, I'll explain to you like processing it, and then during that breakup, or when you feel like it's happening or it comes abruptly, like you're not gonna be like, holy shit. You're gonna be like, holy shit, Mitchell told me this, versus holy shit, I didn't know this happened, and you start acting like a bitch and you lose her, or you lose him, whatever, right? So processing the breakup. Find the right words and focus on what is awful about that situation. So find the right words. So when you're dealing with this breakup, find the right words, right? For some people, it might be like, damn, like I really like this person a lot, but finding the right words. So what's the right word? So I really like this person a lot, but that person's not giving me what I want from them. So finding the right word means what are you feeling for them? What I would suggest is you're probably projecting how you feel onto them, and they're not reciprocating the same thing. And so your needs are not met. And so that's why you're stuck in the situation, right? And so what does stuck mean? Stuck means like, and I heard this from a TED Talk. So if you're angry, what happens? Your chest is out and you're screaming, right? But when you're upset, you're kind of like this, right? You kind of like, man, fuck, like, damn, life sucks. Life just sucks, right? Like you kind of closed off, versus anger is kind of with the chest out. And being stuck is being in between that and not really finding a solution. So that's why you're like this and you're like this, you're sad and you're mad, you get stuck. But getting unstuck is finding the right words and the solution. So maybe you're projecting too much onto her or to him or whatever, right? And that happens more often than not, right? Like you see guys that have guys fall in love faster. So statistically, it just makes more sense that when guys start to fall for a girl, that he's more relationship focused. But that's the opposite. Everything that you've seen on like social media, not all, but like majority of it, say on like Hollywood movies and stuff like that, like it's a lie. If you want to attract the right person, that is not how you act, okay? So processing the breakup, finding the right words. What are you going through? What is it? Okay. It is important. So this is key. This is key during the breakup. Okay. Or processing that breakup. It is important to focus on what you do want. This is what you want. Excuse me. Focus on what you do want. Many people, after a relationship is over, they like to focus things on what they don't want. I don't want this. This person's like this. This, like that's all the things that's stuck in their mind. This, what they don't want in a person. I don't want this. I don't want that. Well, guess what? Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you don't want and what you do want, or what is right for you or what's better for you. It doesn't know the difference. It processes it the same way. And guess what? Whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on what you don't want, guess what? You're gonna get that. So I think it was. Have you heard like of stories of like, hey, you never been in a car, right? You never been in a car, and it's an open lot and there's one fucking light pole. Okay? Open lot, zero cars, just you, one light pole. Somehow, some way, someone says, don't hit the pole. Well, guess what? That's all your attention is focused on. And so for whatever reason, yes, logically it makes sense. There's a lot of space, but for some reason you still hit that pole. And some people do that because that's what you focus on. You focus on what you don't want, that's what you get. You focus on what you do want, you're gonna get that too. Is it gonna be a long process? Absolutely, but nothing great comes easy. So guess what? You're gonna have to put some work into it. So focus on what you want. So during that, process it, understand the word, and what do you want? What do you want in a relationship for maybe the next person that comes in, right? Or maybe that same person, if they are willing to change, not you change them. And so that's super important. So it's and that's so much on people's mind during that process of breaking up. And the next part is get deep into your feelings and follow your trail of whys. Follow that. Why you hurt, right? Why you hurt? Where does it hurt? Is it the way that that person kind of scolds you, right? That verbally abused you, right? And is that like some things in your past that it reminds you of? Maybe your parents did that to you, and it's kind of like unraveling those past traumas that you do have. Is it unraveling those past traumas? And if it is, then I highly suggest that you start listening. Oh, your internet says, but you listen to that and you understand that, and you try to find a solution to what are some of the things that's holding you back even till this day, because somewhere along the line you're attached. You may or may not be attached to your past, and so you see that in this other person that's doing the same thing to you, but you still like trying to, not figuring it out, scratching your head and trying to figure out why, right? So you have to get deep into your feelings. Where does it hurt? Okay. And what is the worst part about it? Was it the betrayal? Was it that that person did something to you? Like, what is it? Like, what's the worst part about it? You have to really dig deep into what's the worst part about this, right? You didn't die, so great. So there's still chance, right? Okay. And how does it make you feel? So here's an example, right? So where is it the way they verbally abuse you? And what's the worst part about it? Well, I feel like the worst part about it is, this is an example. I feel like the worst part about it is I feel like I'm not worthy, right? Because when they verbally abuse me like this or whatever, it makes me feel like I don't, like, really, you have to listen to your own thoughts. Like, I feel like I'm not worthy because they're scolding me. It's kind of like it's starting to remind me of the past, and it's like that seems to be pretty true because my mom or my dad did that, and then now this person's saying the same thing that's kind of like triggering your past traumas and stuff like that, and that's what it is. And I feel the sense of being unworthy, and that's it. So having the sense of being unworthy, does it come with like insecurity? I think it might be, because most people, that when they feel unworthy, they feel insecure about themselves, right? And so when they feel insecure about themselves, they're not gonna tackle the world with the head or the chin up high, thinking that I could do this, right? Yeah, they might say some affirmations and but those affirmations, they don't even believe in it yourself. Like, I don't even believe my own affirmations, but I'm saying it because I heard this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't believe in it, but I'm trying, right? At least I'm trying. And then you find yourself hitting the wall constantly, right? And then really then you dig deeper. Like, how does it make you feel? Well, I feel like I don't deserve love. And I feel like there's no one good out there, right? And so what ends up happening is that you're focused on those things, and then you have to really dig in deep into it. Well, if that's what you feel unworthy, you feel like you're not good enough, and you're insecure, and that's how you make you feel, right? And then you have this sense of these emotions coming out now, so you're feeling stuck now. Like, you have your anger, and then you chest up, and then you're sad, and you're happy and then you're not, right? Or not happy, but you're angry and then you're sad. And then you're angry and you're sad. So you feel stuck. But like I said, feeling stuck, even in the beginning of the slide I was talking about, when you're feeling stuck, finding the right solution is key. And finding that solution is understanding why you're there, and find that word out. So if you're jealous, find out why you're jealous. Figure out how to not be as jealous, or when you are jealous, what is causing that jealousy? What is causing that, right? And so for me now, let's just say my girl cheats on me, or she does something that betrays my trust, or whatever, right? Yes, I'm gonna feel that sense of jealousy, but at the same time, jealousy is not going to stick with me forever. The reason why is because, Mitchell, well, have you done the necessary work to move towards that direction of feeling better, right? Of feeling better. And it's not like, oh, you cheat on me, you don't think I could do that to you too? I could find somebody else, right? And that's where, that's how the world operates. But it's really taking that step back now and really thinking about, well, if you did that to me, then technically you really did me a favor. Luckily I didn't put a ring on it or whatever, right? And that's great. But also it's you know I'm going to find someone better eventually. Maybe not now, but I am patient, right? So focus on what you do want, right? I know I'm patient. I know I have the ability to talk to people, and I know that I could get into a good relationship. And having that mentality of knowing what you do want versus what you don't want in a person, those are two separate categories. And most people focuses on what they don't want versus what they really do want, right? Because when you're feeling those emotions, it's kind of difficult not to focus on it's kind of difficult to focus on what you don't want. You know what I mean? um Walking, talking, insecurity, it sounds like fun. Good, getting full as always. Words of affirmation is always good, but words of affirmation is good if you believe it. If you believe it. So that's why, like the fake it till you make it. I personally believe that shit is kind of out of date. If you're not good at it, admit it. But don't just admit it and stay there. Admit it and be like, how can I get myself out of there so that I could get better? Oh, I'm feeling the sense of unworthiness. Why? Well, because because she cheated on me, or she did like whatever. Why? Well, then you could be like, well, that once a cheater, always a cheater, whatever, right? You can't change a cheater. You can't change a hoe to a housewife, all that. But what can you do? Maybe, okay, well, I chose the wrong person. Okay, so that's on you, right? Maybe you should not have gone with that person that was cheating. Why? Because maybe when you got into that relationship, you were a homewrecker yourself. You wrecked their relationship. She hopped onto you. Then the excitement started to go down a little bit. Then she went somewhere else. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be, because you probably did that too, right? And then you follow that trail. You feel unworthy. Well, my parents made me feel like I'm unworthy. The kids at my school when I was younger, right? Even my school teacher said I was dumb one time, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that what they said was like I wasn't wrong, or like not wrong, but it's wrong for them to say. But hey, you know what? Somehow, some way, it affected you. And if it did, well, are you unworthy? Yeah, I am. I am. I am right now. Why? Well, because I haven't really worked on myself. Okay. Well, where do I start? Well, here's some books. Pick some of that up. Listen to good, successful people. Success leaves clues, right? Now you're focusing on what you do want, right? You want to get out of that situation. Oh, so this is what I gotta do. I gotta read these books. I gotta listen to these people. I gotta understand. I gotta participate in my own rescue. I gotta focus on this is what I do want in a relationship. Oh, okay. So, oh, now I know what I want. I want someone that's committed. Okay. Well, what does commitment mean? It means that you committed to that person. And so, what does it also mean when things take a slide down the slippery slope? You break up with them because you're unhappy, and then you find somebody else, right? Because otherwise, if you get with somebody else while you're still in a relationship, that's called cheating, right? Do you want to be known as a cheater? No. Okay. Because why? It breaks your character down. Okay, good. Do I want to break my character down? Absolutely not. Why? Character is destiny. That's where it's gonna lead you to. So if you know that that's gonna lead you to that, well, you got to work on having integrity. Okay, what does having integrity mean? It means that you say what you mean, you mean what you say. So now you see where I'm getting with this, right? Starting from I'm unworthy to damn, I got a lot of fucking work to do, right? And that's the journey, that's the process. And I'm not saying that you're not gonna get stuck along the way, but you find solutions, you're gonna find yourself in a much better place. You know what I mean? Um, see, I don't blame. I don't like yachts. Oh, mindset is mindset's everything. All right, so here's the thing, getting stuck on blame. So that's my next slide. Getting stuck on blame, right? Is denying your responsibility for their behavior. You have responsibility for your own feelings. That's what you got for their behavior, okay? For their behavior. And with blame, this is what happens. When you blame people, you feel powerless. You feel powerless because you're blaming, because you're stuck. You're blaming them because then you don't really have to do anything to absolve your issues. You're just blaming them. I don't need to do anything. They're a cheater. Yeah, okay, but you also chose them too. Did you not see those red flags? Were there red flags? Okay. What were they? Well, I don't know. They're a cheater. Absolving yourself from issues, right? Problems. Well, they're a cheater. Well, I did see some signs. What were some of the signs? Write that shit down. Let it out. Follow your trail wise. Understand what were their character, because character is destiny, right? So that's what blame is, right? Like blame. You feel powerless, and your frame of reality starts to strengthen by how you perceive powerlessness or powerless. So you're looking through the lens of feeling powerless now, right? What you focus on expands, right? So then it becomes a part of your identity. And when this occurs, your model of the world starts to unravel on how you perceive it, right? Now, this is a story that you consistently telling yourself now. And you ever notice this thing where have you ever met someone that's always kind of pessimistic and they always perceive the world as negative and they always seem to find it? Well, guess why, or guess how it gets there, right? It's because if you're only focusing on bad things happening, you will always find it, no matter how good of a person that is, right? And I get it, there are shitty ass people out there in the world, but you're gonna find more and more of it. Even in like the best place possible, you'll always find something bad. Like if I'm only focusing on the bad things about this can of Coke, I'm gonna be like, you know what? It's probably not that good for me anyways, right? Why not just drink regular Coke, right? These added sugars are probably like this and that, right? But for some reason, we always find the bad reasons on not to do things. Well, what are some of the good things that you enjoy about this? I get it. Coke Zero is not the best for you. I get it, right? But first, then you be like, well, you know what? I don't have to consume all the sugars. I get to kind of curb my appetite for sugars, right? Which allows me to have other things to enjoy, right? And I stay consistent. Yes, right? Now, of course, you got to outweigh what is good and bad about that. But it's kind of like, if that's what you always focus on, if you only focus on the bad things in life, you're always going to find it. You're only going to find it. And I'll tell you how you're going to start. This is the moment when you start leveling up, if you will, right? Leveling up. It's when you're around pessimistic people, right? That always sees the bad. Oh, pessimistic people. I'm sorry. When you're around pessimistic people and that's all they see, and when you're here, you're gonna start noticing, like, damn, this person just drains the shit out of me. Like, I'm trying to have a good time, and you just like kind of like this party pooper. It's like You go to a party, oh, these noodles aren't even that good. Yeah, but we're here, we're having a good time. Yeah, but like if the noodles was better, like we would have even a better time. Yeah, I know. Don't eat the noodles then. There's pizza over there. Yeah, but if the noodles are bad, what makes you think the pizza's up? Man, shut the fuck up, man. Just leave me alone, dog. Right? It's like I'm here. I'm trying to have a good time. The food, you know what? I could get food somewhere else if I want. Yeah, but I came here just for. Yeah, leave me alone. All right. Um, I got a phone call. I gotta go. Right? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Right? The signs. Okay, let's see. Hold on. I totally get you, Tracy. I only blame myself. What I do wrong, make them did. Okay. There were signs, but I thought I can give the person a benefit of the doubt, right? Um, if they want to change, yep, absolutely. Uh, Later on, it broke my heart. Honestly, went through that. It's okay. Yeah. So it's learning from it, but it's also understanding that this what you want, right? What do you do want? So even in this chat, it broke your heart. It sucks, Sabri. It sucks, and and not to sound like I'm a robot, but you should you have to focus on what you do want, right? And when you focus on what you do want, naturally you're going to they use that word manifest. It manifests towards you, right? When you start focusing on what you do want, then you got like, hey, you know what? I want a person that's healthy too. What does healthy mean? Then you start eating healthier. If that's really what you want, right? Because otherwise you're just saying it and you're not doing anything about it, then you're not going to get it, right? So eating healthier. Maybe eating some more fruits and vegetables, right? Maybe less junk food, Maybe spare it for the weekend, kind of like what I do. Just stuff like that. And then you start to be like, you know what? Maybe I could start going to the gym. I don't know shit about the gym. I don't know. It's intimidating as fuck. But guess what? You know what? You know the gym's good for you. You know eating better is going to make your life or health better. So, you know what? Maybe start learning some things. Hey, now you have a hobby. Now you like fitness, whatever, right? Whatever it is, you dive deep into it and you're going to fall in love with it, hopefully, right? Because if you don't, then it's kind of like you're not going to be persistent on it, right? So you want to find something that you're passionate and that you're persistent on it. And then, hey, somehow, and if you could do that and you could turn that into a profit, now you got a career, right? The 3 P's, right? Persistent, profit. Now I'm blanking out, but you know what I mean. I literally just said it. So, focus on what you do want. Really, really just focus on what you do want, okay? So in psychology today, so this is what I found. It is one thing to suggest that an event contributed to triggering your anger. Damn, that's a tongue twister. It is one thing to suggest that an event contributed to triggering your anger, but it is entirely different issue to suggest that the other person is responsible for your feelings and their intensity and how you manage them. You know what I mean? So it's basically like, oh, they piss me off. This is it, and whatever. And yeah, I'm not saying that what they said didn't piss you off, but how you managed it and how you let that shit out and maybe you scream on the top of your lungs, that's still on you. That shit is still on you, right? So, people stare and whisper when I went to the gym. Let them. People will always have something to say. You ever notice everybody's the best critic? They feel like they know everything, and guess what? People that really feel like they know everything, and it's not coming from a place of like trying to like educate and stuff, but they're just saying shit. They feel like they know everything, and most people that knows a lot, they tend not to say a lot, right? And I feel like I'm even contradicting myself, but I feel like there's a message that I should feel like I need to share to some people, because this is not a hot topic. This just working on yourself is not a hot topic, okay? Now, if I just, narrowed it down to like, oh, you know what? Hey, go to the gym, get bitches. Like, yeah, I'll probably get more people like that. But that's not what I want, right? You bottle. So, yeah, I agree. It's all about focusing on ourselves to make ourselves better. Yeah, focusing on what you do want. All right. So blaming doesn't get you anywhere, and it's easier way of absolving your own personal issues or personal problems. So the reason why I'm mad is because this person did this and or they just did this to me, and then now, oh now I feel stuck. Then when you're stuck, you start feeling powerless. So you're diminishing your power. So you're lessening your power now, right, for yourself. And so what happens next? And when we perceive ourselves as the victim, we feel powerless. We foster feelings of powerlessness, feeling helpless, and pessimism usually comes with it. All of which, all of which may increase our proneness for anger, right, to arise, or arousing anger, right? Because when you're sick of the world and I don't like anything and I don't want this and I don't want that, and that's what you focus on and that's what you're receiving, then your reality is perceived as I feel like this, I'm not worthy, so you're angry and you're frustrated. It's because you're stuck, right? So it's really it's it takes a lot of courage, okay? That's the word. It takes a lot of courage to really step out of that comfort zone. Like, yeah, you know what? Maybe going to the gym. Maybe going to the gym, some people are mean and they only focus on, hey, maybe, but they, if they focusing and laughing at you or like, snickering, because it's like, then it really projects on how they feel about themselves inside. So you really got to understand that too. It's like when people are saying bad shit or negative shit about you, technically that's how they perceive themselves. But they might be at a better place visually. Let's just say they're very fit. But people that are successful do not down on people trying to make it up and coming, especially if they see the effort. They don't do that. They don't do that. They acknowledge it. Why? Because they've been through that. And so when they're successful and they see you coming up as being more successful, they want the same thing too, because you're carrying on what is mostly lost. And not a lot of people want to work on themselves. And so when they see that, you're going to see that too. It's like this. Let's just say you came from a place of like, I'm unworthy, helpless, powerless, and all this. And then you work your way up. And you did it in a way where you gave yourself time, you gave yourself a lot of patience, and you learn the necessary things, and you're up here now. Let's just say you're up here. Fast forward, right? And so when you start to recognize certain people, or when you're, and not, I'm not saying that you're better than them. It just means that you took the time to heal yourself. That's all it is. And so when you move from this place in your life to this place in your life, and when you start seeing other people, you're like, damn, like, hey, I was there too. That's okay, right? And so here's some things that helped me along the way, right? And here's some steps, and this is what I did. And so you can call it a cheat sheet or whatever, right? But once you recognize that, you're gonna see, and if they put a lot of effort into getting better, you're not gonna be like, damn, look at that person. They don't, like, dude, they belong there. And if you are up here or over here and you're doing that, then you're a piece of shit yourself. But most people don't operate like that, especially if they worked so hard to get to a place that they want to be. So focus on what you want, right? Focus on the facts. Focus on the facts. Okay, next slide. Focus on the facts of the person. In my opinion, people just want to feel better about themselves. And while it hurts, do my best way you can do. Yeah. And a lot of people that need the self validation to justify how they feel, so that it's called what was it, kissing up and kicking down. Not necessarily kissing up to yourself, but some people do that in like workforces, right? They kiss up to the other people, but they kick down others to get to where they want it to be. And guess what? They might get there. I'm not saying that they can't. That is the way. That is a strategy of getting there. But what success is when you're up there and everybody fucking hates you. You're going to get a bad rep. You're going to get a bad name, right? And it's not a comfortable place to be at, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So let's just say you're at your pinnacle of your life, right? Whatever job you're at, whatever, right? And you're here. Everybody hates you. Nobody wants to be around your ass. You just this. You only want things your way. You're never willing to compromise. Yada yada yada. It's like then, no. You know what? People are very intuitive creatures, so they're not gonna fuck with you eventually, and then you're gonna find yourself always cycling new people, and you never have really good quality life. And so, but it depends on what you want, right? I want to live a life of a legacy too, right? I want to be able to be like, damn, it's such a great story hearing that this changed someone's life for the better because they were once stuck in a situation and now they're in a different place because they put in their work. And Mitchell, is because of you that that to me is a life worth living for, right? So my focus is to get people to become better people because I personally want better people around me, right? That's my focus. That's what I want, right? And so, and it fulfills me. And if it comes to a way of like, there's the career behind it, absolutely. That's what I want to do, right? So, focus on what you want. People who tend to focus on the facts of the relationship, they focus on the reality of it. Okay, look at the reality. Was this person a good person? Did they lie? Are they a liar or a cheater? Because you focus on the facts, but people that tends to vibrate at a lower vibration or lower energy level, they tend to focus on things that's happening to them, right? This is what's happening to me, right? This is what I'm not getting. This is why they pieces of shit, like trying to absolve yourself from that. And that's usually what happens when you tend to vibrate at a lower level, energy level. So let's see. The want isn't. Oh, let me see what I wrote here. The want isn't what you want from them, though. It's focusing on what you can flourish without them. Okay. So the want is, it's not so much of what you want out of them. Okay. I almost confused myself there. I should have put different quotes. But the want isn't so much of what you want from that person. It's not like, oh, I want it from that person. That's what I want. I need them to apologize to me. I need them to do this. No. You're not obligated to an apology, okay? You're not entitled to, no one's entitled to get shit. Whatever. You're not obligated for anything. But what you need to focus on is you got to start focusing on what you need to do to flourish. Hey, maybe I really do want that apology, but I can't expect that apology from that person if that's not what they want to give. So I still need to be able to let go and move on. I really do. So, but that's just their character. So you start focus on the facts of that person. Well, I might not ever get that apology from that person, and that's okay. You know why? Because I'm not gonna force them. And even if I get an apology, because even if I get that apology and that's not what they really want to say, then that's really not worth getting that apology. It's like it's empty words. You get words that has no meaning to back it up. There's no feelings behind that apology. They just saying it because that's what you want to hear, and that's not what people want to hear, right? So, that's why, like I said, like getting over a loss is not easy, especially if you're emotionally bonded with that person. So when I say loss, I'm talking about like it could be a loss of a best friend, right? And there's like the grieving process and all that too, but it's like getting a loss of a friend. Maybe it's a job that you really, really liked, right? Or whatever. It's like, well, then you start focusing on the facts, right? Like I'm leaving this, even though I love this place, I have a really good tight family, but me leaving doesn't mean I'm leaving that family. I'm just doing it for myself because I want a better future for myself, right? And it's, I always be back, I will still always love them, whatever, right? So it's knowing that, right? And it's a better choice, even if it was your choice, and it's not, even if it was your choice, let's just say you broke up with somebody or you left the job or whatever, it's still something that you need to process, and it does take time. It takes time to process that feeling, right? But usually people tend to listen to breakups as like intimate relationships, right? The apology is not worth the air it takes up. Unfortunately, it might be give up. Wait, it might happen, but don't be like me and give up for a long time. It makes it harder to get back up again. Those who hit rock bottom can only go up from there. Yeah. Well, there also is another people, like there's some people that just stays there, right? But if you have the ability to be like, nah, I'm gonna get out of this, you're gonna find your way out, right? Let's see. So focus on the qualities of the person. Okay, let's move on to the last slide. All right, last slide, the breakup. So this is just a little part of it. A big portion of this, I got this from Coach Corey Wayne. But here it is. Okay, so during the breakup, now this is like this is what you need to do. Okay, like practically, this is what you need to do. Everything was practical, but this is a must to apply. Like there's certain things that you need to do firsthand. This is one of them, right? So if you stayed this long, appreciate it, and you're gonna learn a lot on what you need to do, even if it's not the right feeling, right? But this is assuming that this is what you want, okay? And hear me out. No, so during the breakup, like you're breaking up, okay? We're having a conversation right now. I want to see other people, blah, 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 whatever, a breakup. Know what you want and go for it, okay? Know what you want. Like really stand firm. Don't wishy-washy shit. Don't be uncertain, right? And I'm talking about for a guy too, right? For a guy, you need to know what you want. And for a girl, they kind of have a little bit more of a little bit of a break, if you will, like a little kind of understanding, right? So know what you want and go for it. So this is the time to be decisive. It might feel like it's going against what you truly want, but you need to know what you want. Okay? And so it's also very important not to fuck this up. Okay? And usually a breakup isn't really a breakup. Let's just say, so in the perspective of a guy, okay? From a guy's perspective. If a lady wants to break up with you, like me, and I know what I want in a relationship, I'm not going to agree on something that I don't want, okay? And hear me out. If she wants to be my friend and I see her more than just a friend, and I want to be in a romantic relationship with her, and it's a unilateral decision based off her decision saying that I don't want to be with you anymore, Mitchell. I don't want to be with you anymore, but I still want to be your friend. And I don't want that. I cannot agree to just being friends. Because if I do, and I still like her, number one, I'm going against how I truly feel. And number two, it's Mitchell, I won't keep anyone who doesn't. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if that's not how you feel, then no, like I don't want that. And I would want you to, and if they want to still be your friend, but that's not what you want, then no, then don't agree to that. It's just like terms, right? Like if I'm selling you something, if you're telling me, okay, if I'm selling you a car, right? $30,000. I want $30,000 for this car, right? And I will not go any lower than 30,000. And you're like, just please, this is what I want. You know, just give me it for like 27. And I'm like, no, like this is not what I want. What I want is 30 and above. And if you can't even hit 30 for me, then no, I'm going to take it somewhere else, right? But you best believe that you got to know that your car is worth 30 and not 15 and someone's willing to give you 27, right? But then you know what I mean? Like you don't want to lie about shit, right? So that's why you have to build your character and know your worth and understand that this is really what you're worth and go for what you want. And so stand firm. No, I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be friends. I still like you. Now, if you want to be friends, absolutely. Go for it. Go for it. Hey, you know what? We can't be together. We live different lives and I can agree on that. And you know what? I don't mind being friends. I don't even mind being friends with benefit. Maybe a relationship for us is not the right thing. But hey, you know what? I want you to be happy too. So, you know, yeah, Yeah, being friends with you, having friends with benefits, I don't mind, right? Then that's okay. Then that's okay. But if that has to be truly what you want. And when I say usually a breakup isn't a breakup, and especially for the guy, the reason why I say that is when I say a breakup is not a breakup, is what happens is the girl says, I want to break up with you. And the guy fucking overreacts. That's going to cause her to pull away even more. And you're gonna destroy or diminish whatever attraction she had left for you. Let's just say on a scale of 5, it went down to a 3, and you keep chasing her, and now you're at 2 out of 1. You're not gonna come back from that. You have no chance of coming back because you're like chasing and pursuing. Why? Because you thought that that's what the right thing to do is. Naturally, how you feel, you're like, oh, I gotta fix this, I gotta do something. That's called the illusion of action, and you're not supposed to do that. If she says, I need time and space from you, basically it means that you're fucking smothering me, you're acting too needy, or you may be focusing on too much of the relationship. What are you really doing with your life? Maybe you make great money, or maybe you don't, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're still smothering me, okay? You don't really have a focus in life, and you just like, you're emotionally like unregulated. You don't know how to control your emotions. You're not emotionally resilient. She needs a man in her life, someone that's masculine, someone that knows what he wants, stands firm on it, and goes for that. That is strength. That's what she's really attracted to. Maybe she's that's like that confidence. That's why confidence is so important to a lady, is because if you don't have if you don't even display the front line part, right, the confidence in the beginning, how can she trust that you have that ability at all? You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people depend on liquid courage, right? I see your comments. Let me finish this and then I'll read that, all right? But that's why I was like, you know what, breakup isn't a breakup. You know, it depends on how the guy reacts to that, right? Because I know that her changing emotions is gonna fluctuate, but it doesn't mean that it's her fault. Somewhere along the way I fucked up, or there's something that I didn't do, so I gotta figure that out. I gotta puzzle that. Why did she lose all that attraction, right? Now, it's not a script, nothing's like set in stone, but somewhere along the way something's bothering her. Maybe it's you're not there for her, or maybe you're not listening to her, or maybe you didn't court her, or it's both. You didn't date her and court her, and you don't listen to her or call her or whatever, or you don't talk to her. You're not there when she's there. You don't spend that quality time with that person, right? So that's why, like, aligning yourself with the right person is so fucking important, because you don't want to have a relationship where you're constantly beating at each other. That is not a relationship. That is a struggle, okay? And that's how you become roommates. So, you know, with the during the breakup and the illusion of action, like, I need to do this to chase her back. Nah, if she needs time, let her go. It's okay, dude. Stop. Let her go. If she wants to be back, she'll be back. So, and you must give space. Or like, oh, I'm just not ready to be in a relationship right now. What it means is I don't like you enough to be in a relationship with you. Don't take it too damn personal, okay? It means that you're just not that good. Educate yourself. Here's a good place. So, and the thing is, this might sound very counterproductive, and it does sound like that. Court. You dig it. It's you gotta date and court your lady. You have to. Look, men, if you had a guy that listens to you, like, he's fun, he's exciting, right? But then look, somewhere along the way, your life takes a little turn. Like, got a little jerk, right? You're like, damn, I don't really like it that much. So he comes back and he's like, what's going on? What happened? What happened to your day? Like, how was your day? And then there's something on your mind, but you're reluctant to want to share it because you don't want to be that girl that I don't want to be this girl that just like puts everything onto him. But he's like willing, he's ready, willing, and able, right? He's listening to you now, and he's talking to you, and you're just like, and then like one thing leads to another. Well, it's just not, you know, like, and then it's like everything just starts puzzling together. It's like, Well, it just started from that, and then like my life hasn't been the greatest, and da 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 da, and just listening and just listening. And guess what? And he opens you up, and let's just say you're in tears now, but you feel a lot. Feel keyword feel a lot better. And when you feel better, what happens? When you feel better, you feel safe and comfortable to open up to him, both mentally and physically, right? And when you're able to do that, you want to be with that guy. Why would you? Because he makes you feel safe. You trust him. So you technically you take a step back and you're submitting to him because you trust him as a guy to take the lead into the relationship. He'd be like, "Hey, yeah, just come over here. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna go over here and then we're gonna have some fun." Boom, done. Right? Court. Cool. Sometimes it's hard to listen to people when you just want to listen to yourself. Most people, they don't listen. They listen to what the response of what am I gonna say next? What am I gonna say? Right? And it's a skill that you have to develop. So it's still a choice. So that's how you know you could grow because it's a choice. It's a choice that you can make so that anybody can learn this. Because I didn't know shit. And thank you, man. Appreciate it. Sure, sometimes we do. So yeah, but I would love. So learning this is great. Men, what I really do appreciate, even though you're just writing down quotes and stuff, is the fact that you're writing it down. But more importantly, when you do write it down, please apply it, right? Everybody in here, or everybody that's watching later on in the future or whatever, right? Apply this shit. Apply it, apply it, apply it. Make yourself better, right? You could read 1,000,000 books and have all the education. If you apply nothing, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay, I have a friend that's very smart. Smart ass guy. Nowhere in life. Never applied. Okay, so don't learn from me, from him. Okay, let's see. So core distrust. Okay, communicate what you want. Okay, so going back, if it's a unilateral decision and you're the one that got dumped, and you must let them know that this is not what you want. Okay, this is not what I want. You got dumped, or me, right? Got dumped. That's not what I want. It's a unilateral decision. You chose it. That's what you want. Fine. A relationship takes two people. If one feels like they need to eject themselves, right, from like the VHS tapes back in the days, eject, and they want to dip out, they don't want to be a part of that relationship, you gotta let them go. It is their choice. Holding them there is not going to make them feel any more safe. It shows your insecurity. It makes you feel like more of a bitch in the relationship, and she doesn't want a bitch. And if you act like a bitch, she's gonna treat you like a bitch. Don't be a bitch. So it's a unilateral decision. She wants to eject herself from the relationship. You let her go. But you must say what you want, okay? So if you don't mind being friends, choose that. But if you still have romantic feelings for this person, this is not what you want, well, you must state that too. Here's how you say it. I don't want to be friends. Why? Because I still like you. I still have romantic feelings for you. So I can't just be your friend. But if you want to go, explore a little bit, go by all means, please go. I want you to be happy. I wouldn't want you to be in a relationship with me if you're not happy. Why? Because a relationship should take two people to be happy. If I'm not adding any benefits to your life, I don't want to be there. I don't. I want you to be happy. How many people could say that in a relationship? Or ex, or at the end of the relationship? Not a lot of people. Most of the time, what you're gonna get is, oh, you ain't shit anyways, right? You ain't shit. You're never gonna find someone better than me, right? That wobbly voice, right? You're never gonna do this. You're never gonna. All right. Good reason why I need to leave, right? But no, I really do want you to be happy, right? Because why? Because when you say things like that, you're conveying that, hey, you know what? I'm going to be okay too. I just want to make sure that, hey, you know what? I want you to be happy. Please, like, find happiness somewhere else. If you didn't find it here, like, you deserve something that's good for you. And guess what? I'm going to do what I got to do to make myself happier, right? And after a breakup, here's what I suggest: don't get into another relationship right away. I know people kind of bridge the gap a little bit and try to like fit someone in so that they could feel better, but guess what, man? Like, feelings are feelings. There's no good or bad feelings. It's the relationship that you have with those feelings. That's how you're going to be emotionally regulated, right? If you're happy, be happy. If you're sad, be sad. As cliche as it sounds, that is how you're supposed to be. But it's how you deal with it, and that's how the world perceives you. Oh, but I don't give a shit what anybody says. Yeah, you do. Shut up. You do. All right, you do. And why? Because we're social creatures. We need to be accepted some way, one way or another. Otherwise, we can't survive. All right. You're not a lion. All right. You don't just go and attack shit. We're weak creatures, physically. Okay. We're just smart as shit. Okay. We have a lot of things. But anyways, Tracy, you bank. Thank you. Show of hand. Who wants me to say? Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see what else. I keep going on a tangent, but I can't help it. All right, unilateral decision. She made the choice. You must say what you want. I don't want to be your friend. All right, got it. Basically, it just means that don't agree to anything that you don't want. Don't agree, because otherwise, if you agree to something that you don't want, what ends up happening is that's not. You might want it temporarily. It's like this. Think about it. If they're about to break it, or they're gonna break up with you, and they don't want to be with you, you wouldn't want them to stay in a relationship with you if they're not happy. The reason why you want them to stay is so that you could feel better yourself, so that you're not as sad, so that you could go on about the day, maybe the next few months being happy. That's not really knowing what you want. That's kind of like settling. I want you to be happy with me, not a burden. Absolutely not. If I'm a burden in your life, please leave. I don't want that. Okay? Because I feel like people that comes into your life needs to add to your life. It's an addition to your life. So that's why it's so important. Like I always talk about how you don't get together to complete each other. You get together to share each other's completeness. So, men, if you want to write this down, it's a good time. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. You don't get together to complete each other. You do not complete each other. You get together in a relationship to share each other's completeness. I'm great where I'm at. You're great where you're at. And that's great. That's lovely. And not only that, you're so fucking amazing to be around with. I know I am too. I could do my part, right? And I just love being around you. Why? Because you're such a great person, right? Because people that are complete, they're more satisfied with who they are. People that are not, they're dependent on other people for happiness. And when that happens, happiness, like I said, becomes this moving target. And guess what? When happiness becomes a moving target, you're going to find yourself disappointed so many times. Why? Because life is like that. People are going to disappoint you, and there's more out there than good, right? Unless you get super lucky, right? It's like going out there, buying a lottery ticket and hitting every single time. Good fucking luck. You missed it? You didn't miss anything. No. So Min, or Copper, she has a little booklet or little thing that she has to write down, which is great. I love that. That's amazing, right? Because it shows intent, right? It shows that you want to learn, and that's great, right? And then you can move better and become better from that, right? And as much as I don't like to say this sometimes, I know like there's a lot of things that you can learn from people that you don't like, or places that you're not really interested in. But there's a lot of, like, for the red pill community, red pill are guys that kind of like blames women on this and that, right? And I might get a lot of hate comments from this, but oh fucking well, I don't care. They blame women. This is that. This is how you operate around them. This is how you benefit to your favor, right? Great. And I think that is good. And what they say from that has a lot of truth to it. It just comes across with the wrong intention. And when it comes across with this wrong intention, It's going to cause the other side to pull away. And then you got this divide and conquer kind of shit going on, right? And it's like, oh, everyone's kind of attacking each other now. They're attacking each other. It's like, well, you ever tried to understand each other? Well, why do I need to understand him? Or why do I need to understand her if I could already get what I want? What do you want? I just want sex. Oh, I just want sex. But nothing really gets fulfilled in between that. Glorify masturbation. Go ahead. Do that. You could brag about you having 50 people. Great. How many good quality relationships you got? None? Maybe one? Someone broke your heart? Right? Okay. Oh, you got that many bodies. Okay, great. Shit. Great. I personally tend to want better relationships with better people. And I want good quality people in my life. And if they're not there yet, then hey, and I see that they're working on it, and I truly see that, then yeah, give them the benefit without the doubt. But if they're not, and they're just saying shit and you're just full of shit, I can spot that shit too. You're full of shit. Why? Because your action displays it. You can always bottom line someone's action. If they don't have the will or the ability to execute those actions, then bottom line that. Bottom line those fucking actions. People could say, that's why, cliche as it sounds, words are cheap. Words are cheap. Bottom line someone's actions. Look at that character. So the action will lead to character. Character is destiny. So if they're a cheater, but they're like, oh, I don't like cheating, cheating, but you see them going out there. Oh, because that's because I was drunk. Absolving yourself from bottom line actions. Bottom line actions. That's it. Keep it as simple as that, right? So I'm a bad judge of character. Define that. What do you mean by that? Let's see. Lastly, is during the breakup is you mustn't. Okay, when I say you must not act out of impulse and satisfy your vices, I mean you can. I'm not your dad. You can do whatever you want. But what I am saying is, if you got out of that breakup or you got out of that relationship, whether it's your choice or not, you want to make sure that you really sit down and you understand yourself. Those who understand themselves a lot better are way more grounded. People that are grounded and kind of know what they want, it's especially if you're a masculine guy, and this is knowing what you want, or a masculine person, sorry. If that's a masculine person and they go for what they want, they're more grounded, they're more anchored, they're more emotionally regulated, they're resilient too as well. Those are people that have their life kind of more situated, right? They might not have everything that they want, but they know where they're starting from. Start with the end in mind, and they move forward from that. That's where success comes, okay? Especially for them, right? And as a woman, you should know what you want too, right? Don't be kind of wishy-washy. Oh, I want this guy, I want that, right? Know that this is what you want in a person. That's why having core values is very, very important. Know similar goals, similar values. If you have similar goals and similar values in life, you guys are gonna bond way better. It's gonna be more easy and effortless, right? And you're attracted to each other. Every man I may like fall for someone else. Now, if it's every man, okay, are you the common denominator for that? What are you lacking in? And it could be as superficial, and it could be as internal. Like, are you a good person to be around with? Because I say that to myself. Now, this is practical advice, right? I say to myself, like, if I didn't know me, do I want to be around me? Am I a negative, what was that word? Negative Nancy, right? Am I negative in there? Am I this negative person? Because sometimes, here's the truth. Sometimes I find myself talking about shit that's all negative, and it's about what I don't want, because I'm human. I make mistakes. I wouldn't even call that a mistake, but it's like I find myself like kind of slipping into that way, and I'm like, yeah, that's not who I want to be around. Like, damn, Mitchell, you gotta kind of like either hold that tongue a little bit and learn how to let that go somewhere else, right? But I wouldn't want to be around myself if every single word coming out of my mouth is about something that I don't want, about this person, is about negative stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. And then I gotta look at myself in a different lens, and it's like, okay, do I want to be around myself if it's like, okay, let's just say you're a liar, okay? Let's just say you're a liar and you lie a lot. Do you want to be around a liar? No. Then do you possess the traits of not lying? Well, I'm working on it. Okay, great. Work on that. Work on that, and do not break those. Do not start slipping away on your standards. Okay. Um. Exactly that. True. Thank you, Tracy. In my you're the group's matchmaker, right? You like puzzling people together, but it helps you figure out what other people want, and it helps fix them. But what about you? You gotta turn that lens back on you, right? So that's why I like the exercise of, if you don't know what you want in a person, look at what you don't want in a person, because it's easy to judge another person, right? So judge them first. Damn, look at that person, blah 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 blah, right? Judge them first. Then turn that mirror back on you and say, do I possess those traits? And if I do, I gotta work on them. Or I do and I am working on them. How much of a progress are you having? So that way you're always in your own mind thinking about how you can improve. So you're focusing on what you want. I want to improve. I want to become a better person. I want to be more healthy. I want to be more exciting. I'm an introvert, but I really like people. Well, how can I get out there and talk to people? It's fucking terrifying. But reality is, if you go up and you talk to somebody, you're not gonna die. You're just gonna be, maybe you're gonna get shot down most of the time and be like, you know what, they didn't want to talk to me. Like, there was a time when I walked out and I was like, damn, I'm getting a little nervous. I'm by myself. I need to talk to some people, and I wanted to ask them something like, hey, do you have a phone or a Spotify or something? Because, so here, reality, this is what really happened. I was in Japantown, San Francisco, and I was on my live. Okay, I was on my live show on TikTok, and I was talking to the people that was watching, and they were like, Mitchell, why don't you dance? And I was like, yeah, but I could, but I don't have music. So guess what? I was like, but other people have a phone, and if you have a phone, there's Spotify, there's YouTube. Like, everybody has access to some sort of like music, you know what I mean? And so I went up to, I think it was 2 people. I was like, hey, I was wondering if you have a phone. Okay, that was my first words. Okay, I was wondering if you have a phone. Obviously, most people do. It's, do they want to give it up to play it for you? So they were like, yeah, no, right? Both of them said no. I really had to, and then I left and I started walking, and I was like, Mitchell, you could have done better. Instead of asking somebody if they have a phone, why don't you start out with, hey, I was wondering if I could borrow your phone. I'm a dancer and I'm doing a live for the people, and they want to see a dance, and if I could show them a dance and maybe you can have like some entertainment as well, that would be great, right? And so if you let them know that is your intention, that you are a dancer, and that I just need music coming from any device, it doesn't matter, but if you have that, will you be able to offer me that? Then it's like they know, right? When I ask you, do you have a phone, it seems like I'm trying to take it from you. Or it could be perceived as that, right? Because they don't know your intention. Yeah, I have a phone, but why do I want to give it to you? Oh, you're a dancer. Makes a little bit more sense now. Got it. Okay. So yeah, Mitchell, clean that shit up. Done. Okay. Let's see. Part of history, right? So you remember that, man. You remember that. Like, remember when I was like, do you have a phone? Look, if you didn't know who I was, you wouldn't give me your phone. Fuck you. I won't give you my phone. You're gonna snatch that shit. Then I gotta, and everything is on people's phone nowadays, right? There's a lot of information, right? People don't want that. So I gotta clean that up. I gotta learn, right? So you don't learn things unless you do it. And I don't just go out there and ask people for phones, right? I usually bring my own so that I don't have that problem. But you know what? Maybe Mitchell, you should keep doing that. Get better at it. So, yeah, part of history, if you will. But yeah, we all have. Everybody has something that they can learn. There's always something in your life that you can improve on, and that's okay. That's the joy of having like this life of enjoying the process. You know. Let's see. The second one did not speak English. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, but it's okay though. You know, hey, judge. I've cried because it's too funny. Oh, you're laughing or crying. Hey, but it happens. It happens, and that's okay. You know. Next time, I'm just gonna be like, first person that walks out, I just gotta ask them, even if they don't look like they know how to speak English. My commentary. I don't know what I would be if I was a commentator. But yeah, a lot of this I learned from like friends and other people, right? So that's yeah. I remember it was one of my closest friends. She's very fucking blunt. Mitch, when she was like, she was telling her boyfriend at the time, I want you to meet one of my closest friends. I just gotta warn you though, Mitchell does talk a lot, and if he talks a lot, just tap me on my shoulder and I'll tell him to be quiet. And you know what? That means that Mitchell needs to work on communicating a little bit better, right? And it was honestly great. Yeah. And so I started learning more things. I'm starting to educate myself a little bit more. And the best part about it is like there's so much to learn. You know what I mean? You are good. Dude, keep it up. You are awesome. Thank you, Tracy. And Tracy. And Kit. And Min. And if Chevlin, if you're still here. But yeah. So yeah. I think that's it. That's it for today. That's all I got in a live, right? If this was a video, it would be one, way shorter, two, more organized. I like to kind of just read and go on my own and then come back, read, go on my own and come back. That's part of what I like to do. I don't even mind when people talk a lot. People who are quiet are the worst. Can you imagine? Just not talking. How awkward it is. You're standing right there. So, and I ask you, it's very difficult. Like I don't want when I ask people questions and they don't answer back at all. I'm kind of like, so what do you like to do for fun? What are some of your hobbies? What do you like? Oh, I like this. I like that. I like shoes. I got panda dunks recently. Oh, great. Hey, me too. Me too. How'd you get them? Blah 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 blah. And there's zero background music. Okay, let me turn that off. So you like pandas? Great. You look at your phone. Does that happen more often than not? And then you try your best to ask them another question. Maybe I'm just not as engaging. I get it. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I terrify you. I hope not. Right? And you're not even there physically. That would drive me nuts, right? But life doesn't have background music like that. But then I'm asked, are you okay? Why are you red? Why do you need to sit down? No, I try my best to engage people and I understand that there are certain people that are not as engaging. But if you want to And it could be a variety of things, right? Maybe they're just not as interested in you, and that's okay, right? You can't take that too personal. But and when that does happen, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? Hey, you know what? It was great talking to you. Have a great party, right? Someone lives, no one is talking. I'll over talk to show support. That mess is annoying. It's like, yeah, you just say something. Bounce, yo. I can't keep hitting balls on your side, man. All the balls on your side, man. I got no balls coming back at me. It's a tennis game. It's a ping pong game, right? Bong. Hit that shit back so I can have some fun too, right? Fuck. I, this is not fun. I don't want to keep catching my own rebounds. Pass that shit. Pass that shit, dog. Right? Say something. Smile. I don't know. Make a reaction. Right? Oh, that got a really funny story. I can't share it though. I can't. It was. It happened yesterday. I can't share it. Perfect analogy. Yeah, you gotta look. Balls in your court. Pass that shit. It is. It is. It's like sometimes. Sometimes when I know they're like, if I could sense them, if I could sense that like maybe they're like sad or something that's on their mind that like that's not their character, I would. And this is not like, sometimes it's like there's certain people that you know, like you actually, these are not strangers, right? There's certain people that you actually know that they're just not really talkative, and sometimes they are, and you're kind of not sure, but you kind of like gauging their interest a little bit just to see where they're at. So you're talking to them and you'd be like, yo, I haven't seen you in a bit. Like, how you been? What you been up to? Oh, this and that. And then it's like, cool. And then so you try to do it again. You try to re-engage, and you're like, anything happened recently that's new with you? Like, what's been exciting about you? And when you say that and they're not really that engaging, chances are they don't really have anything interesting to say anyways. So you're really trying to like engage them. Look, so sometimes I just turn to the side and I just pretend I'm talking to the wall, right? And I just be like, yeah, so Mitchell, how you been? I've been good. You just talk to yourself. Been great. Yeah. So a lot of things happen. So sometimes they find it funny because they're not participating. They're just watching me reenact how I would like to talk to myself, so that I just don't feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, right? Hi, how are you? Crickets. Usually feel it's hard. It's difficult when it's one-sided. But yeah. Anyways, it's getting late. 20-ish minutes past my thing. Do appreciate you guys coming in as always. Pen and paper. I don't want it to feel like a lecture, but if you come in with some pen and paper, I'll be really happy, right? Share with your friends. Share with everybody. It's always a good conversation. Always a good time. Samantha said, here's something for you. Just broke up. In no contact. X wants to return my stuff. Secretly hopes it's because he wants to see me. Yeah. And who's the one in who's the one that decided? Who's the one that decided that you're no the breakup, that pause? Because no contact has to be done correctly. If you're no contact, you gotta come correct. Some people use no contact as a way. So he did that. So Samantha, you secretly know that basically he is incongruent with what he says and what he's going to do. And now his feelings of emotions are fluctuating left and right. So it's causing you to be like, he's not really this man that I think he is, because I don't feel his strength, because he says one thing, he does another. What causes you to really feel his strength? You don't. And so you're like, I'm not really that attracted to him. And now also, here's also another thing too. And coach said it too. He's like a structured woman. Okay. He's a structured woman. Someone that's like, I would never do this. I would never do this, and blah, blah, blah. And it's good to have like boundaries, but like, hey, if you like that person on a first date and you really had a good time, but your rule is I don't kiss on a first date. And it's like, and you that structured, then it's causing you to feel unnatural, right? You want to, and whatever's natural, it feels a lot better. You're so right, Victorian era? Pen and paper. We have phones now. Mm, pen and paper is always better. Like, you know, you're a school teacher. You know what I'm talking about. Pen and paper. Write that shit down. It grasps better. Okay, you gotta feel it. Damn, holy shit. But yeah, in no contact. So if you're no contact and he's doing all this, like, he suggested that you guys should not see each other, and now he's going back and forth. Now, unless he really needs those things and he never talks to you ever again, and that's what he wants, then you're gonna feel his strength. But other than that, you still love him. But I still processing. Oh, P.S. I'm feeling great. And if that's, yeah, hey, I don't know what type of relationship you guys had. I don't know how it ended or led up to that. But, you know, that's why, like, what I give is very general. But if I understand, like, what's really happening, then it's like, then it would be more detail oriented, right? But the general thing still applies really well. But it's like, once you get deeper into it, right? That's where I do my consultations. But hey, if you're in no contact and that's what you want and you're feeling great about it, and you're like, hey, he's not being the guy that he wants to and all that, then yeah, you know, absolutely. Who wants to be with somebody that's not going to be an addition to their life, right? So, I would let you work on pen and paper. There's students like that. Wait, do people take notes on their phones now in school? Is that what they do? Or do they use, like, binder paper? Binder paper. Damn, I haven't said that word in so fucking long. Holy shit. Hey, excuse me, do you have any binder paper? That word seems fucking foreign to me. Holy shit. The college rule, because it's thinner lines. The blue and the red. That one red line on the back. Right? Oh, damn. That brought me back. That brought me back to school. It wants me to be his friend, but I don't do second best. Yeah. So, knowing what you want, staying firm on what you want, right? Now, if he does contact you back, then you gotta let him know that's not what you want. Hey, I don't want to be friends. I still like you, but don't contact me. That's not. If you only want to have, like, lunch dates and shit. Oh, Samantha was just talking. Yeah, I do notes on phone, but paper is good. I do notes on phone too. I'm not that fucking Victorian. All right, I'm not that aged, but I like to write shit down. All right, I like to write shit down. I use recycle. Sorry, didn't mean to call him out. No, it's all good. Let's see. Integration. So students like doing it on a computer. Pen and paper, but pen and paper is still a thing. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. You know what it is now? Back then, I had to borrow people's fucking notes. Now you just be like, hey, let me take a screenshot. Done. I don't need it. You keep it. I didn't have no fucking. If I wanted a photo, I have to take a photo, go to Costco, pay for that film, develop that shit. Takes a few days to a week, depending on the time and with the speed. And yo, by then I don't have any answers to those tests. You wouldn't want me in your class back then, all right? All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, it's so easy. Yeah, I know, right? Shit. They don't know what we went through. But it's okay. You know what? Things are just developing, and we just got to go with life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember. All right, look. I remember I really wanted a BlackBerry. I'm so glad I don't have it. Because having a BlackBerry right now is like having Nokia will only snake on my phone. You know what I mean? The black and white. I don't know, like, it moves like this. It's all like, it's always like, I call it the anxiety snake because it's hella like, it's not the snake's fault. It's how they mate snake. It's hella like fidgety, right? I never did BlackBerry. Take photos on my take photos of my son and let's move on. Wow. Is that what you do? take photos. I would love to see your class setting one day. If you could do a class setting. Hi everybody, I'm just doing a video. Don't worry about who's it for. Don't tell them. Just shit. Miss, I call her Miss Panda. So Miss Panda, what you doing? Don't worry about it. Send. Do that. I just want to see. I don't even know how a classroom looks like. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't know how kids would perceive me if I walked into a classroom. I know my niece would be like, that's my uncle. I don't know how proud they would be, but I keep them in check. You know what I mean? I keep them in check. I just don't want to be that old ass guy that walks in there that was like, because we had what was it? Some ex-convicts comes in and telling us like, this is, you know, when I was younger, when I was your age, this is what I did. Like I'm almost, if not almost, I am that guy. I'm like, yo, I made a lot of mistakes. You know, you should really read books. And they're like, no, man, no, right? So yeah, did a lot of things in life. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy that just walks into a classroom, just like tell them a life story that no fucking kid cares about. Or maybe they care about it in a split second, but they're like, you know, it's lunchtime. I might get to see my crush sitting on the stair steps that she always go to. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't think that when they were in high school and stuff like that? Anyways, I'm heading out. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Hit the like, share it to some friends. Let's get some more good people in life. You know what I mean? Enjoy your weekend. Halloween's coming up. Eat lots of candy, right? Stay sweet. And as always, thank you for your time. I'll see you next time, all right? Peace. Well, certain